right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, I've worked with you for a long time now. And in working with you, I've learned that people in Wisconsin, they don't slow down, they slow up.
Exactly.
See, I've always said slow down, and I always hear you say slow up.
Yes.
So you speed up and you slow down. If you're from New York, but if you're from Wisconsin, you slow up and you speed up. It's up both cases. You also take the word. Wait, what is it again?
A whole and another.
A whole another. You take the word another, and you take the a away from it, and you slip the word whole in there. So things are a whole nother.
That's right.
This is a whole nother experience for me. It's not another whole experience. It's a whole nother experience.
That's right.
So I've never been to Milwaukee or to Wisconsin, but one of these days I'm going to get there and I will know the language. I'll be prepared.
Yes, you will. You'll know how to speak your Wisconsinese.
Our next guest is actually a Chicagoan, it says in her bio. However, her book does take place in, is it Door County?
Yes.
Door County, and you know that county? Are you familiar with that county?
Yes,
really?
It's a nice area.
Near where you grew up?
It's north.
Isn't that cool when you read a book that's kind of set in a place you're familiar with? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Patricia Skalka is our guest. She writes for one of my favorite magazines, Reader's Digest.
Yep.
Because I like things that are easy and short. Short, maybe not so easy. She's an award-winning freelance writer, an editor, a ghostwriter. Oh, I got to talk to her about that. See, I always think writers should get credit. She's a writing instructor, and her book is called Death Stalks Door County, a Dave Kubiak Door County mystery novel. So let's say good morning and hello to Patricia Skalka. Good morning, Patricia.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm good. I don't want anybody else taking credit for your work. I hate ghostwriting thing. I mean, I love ghostwriters because you're writers, but the other person I'm not so fond of.
Thank you. But sometimes, it's one of those things where you do what needs to be done, and sometimes that's what you need to do. And actually, some of the books and some of the articles I've done have also been as told tos, and so there I get a byline.
Well,
so that's okay.
That's fair.
All is forgiven.
That's fair, I guess, but I don't know. You write a piece; it could be a masterpiece, and somebody else gets the credit.
Well, yeah, but on my book, I get the credit.
Okay, so let's talk about your book because we only have a short period of time. Yeah, your book takes place in a place that Robin is familiar with.
That's right. A lot of people are familiar with. A lot of people from Florida actually come up to Door County for the summer. You see a lot of Florida plates there.
That makes sense. There's a lot of Wisconsin people here. It's a whole nother world in the winter. In the winter, Florida is a whole nother world.
Yes, it is.
Do you get down to Florida often? This photo of you looks like you're in Florida. Where are you in that photo?
I am in Door County, standing in front of Lake Michigan.
That's Lake Michigan. See, I've never been to Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan is enormous. It's like a small sea.
Must be beautiful. So tell me about the story. I guess we need to hear the storyline, the movie trailer version.
Well, the movie trailer version would be that it is a story of greed, revenge, and lost love, where a former Chicago cop who is trying to escape his tragic past life and his own grief and guilt and all mention of death moves to this idyllic location, retrains and works as a park ranger, and finds himself surrounded by death, and only he is the one who sees what's going on, really recognizes the subversive nature of things, and is the person who can solve the crime.
Oh, really? Is Door County filled with people who are more naive than Chicago?
Door County is just an absolutely beautiful, wonderful place, and
more relaxed.
They've had one murder in the past decade, and I have quite a few more than that in like 2 weeks. So,
oh no,
it's a bit different in the book.
I like the quote, "Death was a transient event." I just, that was extremely thought-provoking when you put that in the story.
Yeah, well, because to many people it is, but to my protagonist, it's not, because he is burdened by the deaths of his wife and daughter. They're killed in an accident he thinks he could have prevented or should have prevented.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, he's just not, he is not only grieving, but he's burdened with the responsibility and the guilt. And there's a turning point, which is why he resists so much getting involved. He just wants to be a recluse, and he does a pretty good job of it. But there is a turning point in the book where he has to face reality. He has to face his own past, and realize that that what happened, was it his responsibility, was it not? Whichever way it falls in his mind, he still has a responsibility to move on and to continue serving and protecting. And that's when he just kind of kicks into gear and takes over the investigation and starts going through the layers and layers and layers of the story, because it's a complex story that something happens in the present, but it's linked to things that happened in the past.
Wow.
And he's the newcomer, so he doesn't know all these secrets and all of these the old relationships and who really doesn't like whom and what really happened 20 years ago. He has to find all that out.
And even though he has the skills, because coming, like you said in your book, as a Chicago homicide detective, and then he ends up in the woods as a park ranger. I mean, it's a totally different environment there that he needs to get used to.
Right. He has to get used to the environment, he has to get used to the people, and he has to figure out what's what. And as people befriend him, and slowly they do, again, it's a question of, he starts discovering all these people, this person has a motive, this person has another motive, this person could. So which person does he trust and which person could be the killer?
Wow. I hear sirens in the background. You're in Chicago right now, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
So how, I've never asked an author this before, but for some reason I want to ask you, how did you, I know Dave Kubiak is a fictional character that you created, but I'm going to ask it this way. How did you meet him? How did he become part of your world?
Well, I came up with the idea of doing the story sitting on the beach in Door County after an absolutely stunningly gorgeous, beautiful day, and then it turned into one of those dark, sinister nights. There was no moon, the clouds were covering everything. It was so dark you could not see your hand in front of your face, and the trees were sort of, the breeze was going through the trees, and there was the eerie sounds, and I thought, oh my God, like anything can happen here. This is, that there is sinister things moving possibly beneath the surface of this beautiful location. So I had the idea of these two different worlds, the one on the exterior and then the one in the interior, and decided that I wanted to have a protagonist who was new to the place. So, one thing built on another. I have friends who are Chicago cops and former Chicago cops. I've listened to their stories. I know their experiences. And I wanted someone who was wounded and who was trying to get away from his own past. And so all of these things morphed into Dave Kubiak.
Okay, and so is there something metaphorical about the appearance of being tidy and the truth of being not so tidy? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure what you mean by tidy.
Well, we know a lot of people it looks like they have got everything together, but if you really were to be a fly on their wall, you'd hear that it's not really together. So, in other words, I'm asking if Door County is kind of like a character in and of itself.
I see. Oh, yes, absolutely, it is. I mean, it gives this in the book anyway. It presents an appearance of being a mecca of joy and loveliness and serenity and goodness. Everything is kind of wholesome on the surface, but there are these rivers, these streams of deep, dark motives and notions of revenge and animosities.
Wow.
How people are very nice to each other in public, but
they
can't stand each other.
Yeah.
But there are always there are always reasons. Things happened in the past. People do things or either because of circumstance or because of their own motives, and they plant the seeds for animosity that then develops and grows and lingers and then leads to motives for committing horrendous crimes.
Yeah, I like that, deep thinking and intricate. I like
Very
that.
Much.
Wonderful book. Gosh, it was such a joy. I kind of wish we had more time. Patricia Skalka, I have a copy of Death Stalks Door County. Call me if you want the copy I have. The rest of us have to go buy it. Patricia, can you tell us about a website?
The website is patriciaskalka.com, and I can tell you that the book is available at Barnes & Noble on College Road and at A Novel Idea.
Wow.
It's also available at Book Gallery West in Gainesville, and it's available online, so people can get it.
Look at you. You did your homework.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's ever done that before. Named our bookstores.
Yeah.
So have you done a book signing in Door County?
I've done several book signings in Door County, yes.
How do they feel about you taking their town and making it full of murder?
They seem to love it. The people who showed up, at the book signing were very enthusiastic about it. I don't know about everybody else.
Oh,
there were quite
cool.
a few people there, so they were quite happy.
Well, you're a joy to talk to. I wish we had more time to speak to you, and I know we've already run out of our time slot, but thank you so much, Patricia, for being on the show with us today.
Well, you're very welcome. I enjoyed it immensely.
You're always welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, we will take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Sign up for this year's Marion County Heart Walk and be part of a local movement that's helping others live longer, healthier lives. Join me, Corey Poole, your 2014 Marion County Heart Walk Chairman, and walk with me on Saturday, October the 4th at the Baseline Road Trailhead. It's a free event promoting physical activity and heart-healthy living. To find out how you can help fight the #1 killer of all Americans, visit us online at marionheartwalk.org.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Today, times of clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm, the high 86 to 90. Partly cloudy tonight with a thunderstorm in spots, low 71 to 75. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in the area, high 88 to 92. And for Thursday, more the same, intervals of clouds and sun with a shower and thunderstorm around, high 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
On Friday, July 25th, the Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge number 19 will again host its popular public open house event at the Lodge in Ocala from 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. The annual event is free and open to the public. The public is invited to attend a short program which will briefly look at Freemasonry and the rich 165-year history of Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge. The roots of Freemasonry and the impact it has upon the world, our nation, innovative medical research, childhood diseases, and our community will be presented. There will be no soliciting, and visitors should feel free to ask questions and look around undisturbed as they view the artifacts and the inside of the lodge. Plus, refreshments will be served. The address of the event is 1846 Southeast 36th Avenue in Ocala. If you'd like more information, give the lodge a call at 352-694-2461 or go on Facebook to Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge number 19. The public open house event is sponsored in part by BTB Contracting.
Hey Adam, those burgers gonna be done before summer's over?
Maybe. Why? You got big plans for the summer?
Not really. Just the usual, kids hanging around the house. How about you?
Actually, I'm having Joshua get his pilot's license this summer.
What? Is he old enough? Can you really do that in just the summer?
Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty of time. Plus, this could be the start to his career as an airline pilot.
That is a great idea. I bet Tyler would love that. Actually, I would too.
You guys should do it.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation, at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry.